Hello everyone and welcome to another draft of Crimson Vow. This is a premier draft this time and I'm going to first pick the Concealing Curtains. I don't actually recall playing with this card a lot, it's just a rare, not a mythic rare. I mean, I'm not saying it should be a mythic rare, but I have played a lot of drafts and I don't recall using this card. I faced it a couple of times, of course. But it will be interesting to play it with by yourself. It is a very efficient beater, 3-4 minis for quite low mana investment, and you can split even the mana investment in 2 different turns, so definitely a great one. Other than that, the pack doesn't have anything too amazing. I would not mind. I mean, I wouldn't like to first pick the Fleeting Spirit, but it's okay. Diagram Scavenger is fine too, but otherwise a pretty weak pack actually. But I'm happy to take the one very nice card out of it. The black card's not good here. Screaming Swarm it's like okay, but it's not a very high quality, high priority card, because not every deck wants to play a 6 mana 4/4, even though it flies and has this potential secondary win condition and also the ability to keep coming back. There's a bunch of good stuff going on with it, but it's still a hefty mana investment for something that is just a 4/4. And what I'm gonna take here is the Foreboding Statue. It's going to be good in most decks. I mean, pretty much any deck almost, because you will get the 5/5 out of it at some point anyway, unless opponent uses a card to kill it. And the Hook-Hand Mariner would be like a okay pick, but I'm not sure getting that card and at pick number 2 is that exciting either. Plus this is a colorless card, so it can go to any deck, and now I'm given a Pack Song Pop. Well, it's early in the draft, I can definitely go that route if I get Wolves and Werewolves, and it doesn't always have to be a red-green deck. If you have enough green Wolves and Werewolves, and at common there is a lot of support for them, you can maybe just have enough support for this thing just by from your other green cards. Other than that, what would I pick here? Like a Diagram Scavenger again as an option, but I'll take the best card, which is the pop here. Alright, there's a dual land, not for my colors though. If I even am going to be green-black, that's of course not sure yet. This pack it has things going on, but I'm not sure. First of all, there are no green wolves in here. I would have been biased to pick those after getting the Pack Song Pop. There is a fine card in white for fight decks that have a bunch of humans, which often have. There's also the Falconrod Celebrant, which is a really good card. There is a Desperate Farmer / Depraved Harvester, which works with my first pick, of course, being the same color. I think it's gonna be the Celebrant or just another Foreboding Statue, because I don't really know what the colors are gonna be. I think I'll take the Statue. That's maybe an interesting take, playing multiple of these, but it keeps me open and I don't mind playing multiple of them. So now I can start to see maybe some patterns, what's open or not, or maybe not. I guess there's blue. Scattered Thoughts is okay. Alchemist's Retrieval is it's something you can put to your main deck and not feel bad about it. There is a Dawnhard Disciple. I mean, I could go to the green-white humans route, although the statues don't really work with that. But this is a fairly weak pack. I'm not even sure if I should take just a Scattered Thoughts here, because it's very good with the Foreboding Statue. They give mana and you get access to cards. Although I do like the human deck. Okay, actually I take this. I mean, if the green is open, which is not, which it is not, it would have been interesting. I guess it's now time to take the Desperate Farmer and just respect the first pick here. I don't see any clear signal what is going to be open. There's even a decent red card here still, so I don't know. It's a tough one. I'll take the Farmer. It works with the first pick, like I said. Now there is a Sporeback Wolf. There's also the Socialite, so I can kind of ignore the green and just go with the black cards here. But I could take the Sporeback Wolf here still. It's a 2-drop. Nicely working with this Pack Song Pop. I mean, it's gonna be one of these. It's gonna be the Sporeback Wolf. There's another Scattered Thoughts, but tough to say. Maybe I will want to make the Pack Song Pop work, and I'll take the Wolf now. And on the other hand, now I get another disciple, so I could go for the human route too. It's really tough now. Socialite is again given as an option to me, so I can't say there's no playables. There are. I just am not sure. It's very hard to navigate here. I could take the socialite here, after all. But after I picked one disciple, I kinda want to have another one. Oh, I have a human here. Okay, fine. Let's take these and see where the draft gets me. Okay, there is a playable black card, playable red card, Witch's Web is okay. I do like the Undying Malice slightly more though. I'll take that. And now I can take the Witch's Web. This maybe is going to be black-green. Well, there is a fine 4-drop for green decks, so also happens to be a human for the disciples and a werewolf for the pack song pup, so that there's a chance I play both of those. Okay, there's a human again. Maybe this is the kind of green-black humans deck which I actually saw in my previous draft. An opponent that had a human synergies. I'm playing green and black. Okay, there's a Kaya Geist Hunter, but actually I got, if you watched my set completion, the pack opening video, I actually was missing 2 of these, but I got them from my prize packs, from my couple of drafts that I did after that. So I got both Kayas and the final missing mythic rare too. So all the 3 mythics I have missed after opening all my packs, I've already gotten from the prize packs. So I'm now actually having a full set of Crimson Vow, and I didn't have to use any wild cards for that. Now let's not waste too much time here. This is a good set of. I kind of like this, but I just moved to green white actually. But I have the Desperate Farmers here. I could take the Weaver. It works with the pack song and the human stuff. Okay, let's take these. It doesn't work that well with the foreboding statues, mostly because I have so many 3-drops already. But I don't have to play these. I mean, I can decide that the creature type is not synergistic in this deck, although the card is usually nice otherwise. I can just ignore them. And here I will take the Ancient Lambenot if I'm gonna be black-green. I don't have a huge amount of cards that benefit from it, but the Curtains works. Well, maybe when it's transformed, it's only +1 power basically. Sporeback Wolf is a 4 power attacker effectively. Yeah, and it's a 4 mana 4/4, but so is Hook and Mariner. But I mean, am I gonna take an upgrade here instead? No, I think I'll stay green black here now. But then the actual question is, how much do I want to pay attention to my synergies? Like the 2 Dawnhard disciples, that's not a reason to go too crazy with humans. But if I'm going to play the Paxang Pup, I do want to have enough wolves and werewolves for it. I think what I'm supposed to pick here is just the Weaver of Blossoms, because it works with both creature type synergies, and then I can just ignore the foreboding statues. I think I'm gonna do that. Millipia. I'll take the Gift of Fangs, a little bit of interaction here. I don't see a lot of black being open here, like no Bleed Rise is gonna be passed to me pretty clearly. And yeah, I could have moved to, if I took the Traveling Minister at pick 1 here, I could have just moved to green white, and that would have been actually quite okay. But I think it's now a bit too late. I'll take the Gift of Fangs. Why not? And there's a Disciple, there's a Flourishing Hunter, there's an expensive removal. Now I'll take the Disciple. Okay, I'm passing also Lantern Bearer here. That's quite late. Desperate Farmer number. Well, I'll take it, whatever. This is a weird draft. This is a Premier draft, didn't I say so? I think it is a Premier draft, so there's no use for the Crushing Canopy. Well, there's no use for any of this stuff actually. I'm not gonna play. I'll just take the best card out of the pack. Alright, so Apprentice Sharpshooter. Well, let's take it. It kind of works with the Lambenot and my some kind of human synergy, but I think by this time I should just cut the foreboding statues. I have, look at all these 3-drops. That's a huge column of, that's 6 creatures at 3 mana slot. I really don't want to pick any more. That costs 3, and then I'm gonna give I'm given something like a Courier Bat. It wouldn't be the worst here because of the triple Desperate Farmer. I guess the pup can also gain life, but I'm not sure yet if I'm going to play the pup. I'm gonna play the Bramble Armor. It's a weak card, so I'll take the uncommon for the Vault Progress. Alright, so Same story here, nothing for my deck. No sideboarding in best of one, so yeah, the deck is lacking definitely. I just maybe didn't. Was I supposed to move to green-white after taking these Dawnhard Disciples in pack 1 and seeing the Traveling Minister at pack 2 pick 1? Maybe, yeah. I take the Millipede over the Awakening here. The Millipede is fine 5-drop here if we have enough creatures, and this deck definitely has 15 creatures and 3 non-creatures so far, so this can be somewhat of a big 5-drop. Okay, another Millipede. So as you can see, not a lot of black is being passed, unless it's like a useless Vampire's Kiss. I'll take the uncommon here. Oh, no one is... wow, nice last pick. No one is in black and white. Alright, so what do I take? There is a catapult fodder, actually. Well, there's also a massive might. I would take the fodder over the Gluttonous quest easily. So how many... Actually, I might have... I'm at least taking it now. And I will focus on maybe toughness stuff now that I have the Lumberknot and this thing. Okay, let's take it. I'm not sure how good this is gonna be eventually, but I could get another Sigardian Paladin here. I don't really want to take a 3-drop, although the Spore Collar is just totally fine card, but I want to have some other mana cards. Alright, I take 20 gems here. I really think there's just nothing I'm gonna play here. I guess I wish now I went green-white. That could have been good, but too late now. Another Lumberknot though. Now this is fantastic. Now I don't mind being black and green here. This is actually, I have already 3 pieces of these kind of synergy cards. Alright, I'm happy now. Let's get an excellent deck now. 18 creatures, 3 non-creatures, so yeah, the lack of removal is bad. I don't have even a Wolf Strike here. Okay. Not really synergistic with my stuff. I'll take the Socialite, but it doesn't work with, yeah, it doesn't synergize with the Lumberknot. Doesn't synergize with my creature types. But look at my number of wolves and werewolves. That's total of 5. That might not be good enough for the Paxson Pup. I can just ignore the Paxson Pup. I have 10 humans so far. I'm not sure if I'm gonna cut a bunch of them, but my disciples can be 3/3s quite often. Okay, a 3rd Millipede, 2nd Socialite. I have 4 4-drops. I don't need a 2nd Socialite. This is great, but of course not for me. I mean, am I going to play triple Millipede? It could be, because I will play these Weaver of Blossoms for sure. I might not play these foreboding statues, but I want to have these 5-drops here. And I get nothing. I'll take an uncommon away from that pack then. What cards are these? I guess I'll take 20 gems because my colors are not open. I guess I have here enough playables, but I would have wanted to maybe fine-tune the deck a bit with something, maybe with some other thing that has more toughness than power. I guess the statue is still a possibility, but I hate to use those. Okay, well, I mean, anyway, here is actually a good one, because, well, actually this is a deck which could maybe play the Unhallowed Phalanx, but I have 3 more reliable 5-drops, so I'll play them. But this is fine because this also works with the Catapult Fodder. So yeah, let's take it. I actually will be a bit low on 2-drops. Okay, I don't mind having Massive Might. This is a fine pickup here. Yeah, look at this. I'll take it now. But if I'm not gonna play the Pup, I have only this is okay. Well, it's still 4 2-drops. I guess it could be worse. None of this matters. And I can still play the Pup, but it's not going to be very reliably getting those counters. That's the problem. I'll have to see. Okay, nice red card, playable red cards here among the last 2 ones. So red was open, definitely, and black wasn't. I got like a couple of black cards here, but I guess it's fine still. Okay, what a mess this sideboard is. Random cards. Well, let's see. Green, black, and colorless. So these are the interesting ones. So I have the statues in here. I will have to check how many ways I have to flip this fodder and maybe play this in that if that's gonna show that I need more. So I will play all the millipedes. Look at the creature count in this deck. Even if I cut some creatures, I will have at least 19. Even if I play all the non-creatures, I will have 19 creatures. So the millipedes will be big creatures. And now then, how many creatures have more toughness than power? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, that is good enough for the catapult fodder to be a reasonable 3-drop here, I think. And now that is total of 2 wolves and 3 werewolves. So 4 other things for the pack song pup. That means I'm going to cut it. I have here 10 humans. I could cut a human, like one of the desperate farmers. I think that is the easiest cut here. The socialite is another option, but yeah, now that I found the Diacraft Scavenger here, actually. Yeah, maybe the socialite can be cut now. And that would be 10 black, 15 green. Okay. This is the deck, I guess. Oh. Now that's just not good. Not in this deck. You would have to be a pretty dedicated deck with a lot of wolves and werewolves. And also have an aggressive deck. Because this doesn't do anything on your opponent's turn. And it's not that hard for the opponent to, you know, not cast twice 2 spells a turn. So this is mostly good because of the +2/+2 effect. And that only is relevant if you have a very aggressive deck. Okay. I do think this is the final build. It's kind of like, well, the only human synergy here is the Dawnheart Disciples, but there's nothing wrong with the Desperate Farmers. They can be 4/3 lifelinkers, and I have here some nice late game with big millipedes. Lumberknots can surprise with things like Catapult Fodder, and yeah, I think it's okay, but the lack of 2-drops is a bit risky. But I have the 1-drop that can, you know, block early in the game, even 3-power creatures, so that helps a bit. And maybe this can kill some, well, non-vampires obviously early in the game, so maybe I'm not in too bad of a shape. Plus I have the lifelinkers that can give me some life back if I fall a bit behind in the beginning of the game. So now it's the land count 15 and 10, no evolving wilds here, so double casters, the unknown double casters. I have more green cards plus the 2 green creatures that will actually add even black mana, so that's rather easily going to be 9 forest. And I think still 8 swamps. Yeah, I don't need that many. If I have 1 forest, I'm happy about that. And I want to be able to play my black spells on curve when I draw them. So this is the deck, not really the greatest deck of all times, but 19 creatures, 4 non-creatures. No real interaction, Gift of Fangs, couple of pump spells, and the Undying Malice that only not even is an interaction, it's mostly just a kind of a way to save your creatures. Well, that's what it is. I don't think I'm gonna play something like a Bramble Armor here, it's a really weak card. Yeah, that's the deck. I go first with a 2-drop, 3-drop. This is when the Disciple is really decent. You can start attacking with a 3-power, 2-drop, and also 3 toughness. Okay, and there's a way to train this thing. This is a good curve out. Very good. Wedding Invitation. Yeah, I'm playing the Apprentice Sharpshooter. I don't need the black mana yet. I just wanna have the opportunity to train this at least once. Okay, and I even got the... It's still gonna be the Sharpshooter, even though the Lifelinker is interesting. But getting 1 free counter on it is just too I can't get the word to my head. Well, I forgot the word by what I was trying to say, but anyway, I get to now do this thing because they have a 1/4, which, interesting. Could play that design. No, I'm gonna play the Weaver this time. I cannot yet transform this, but it actually will transform on the next turn if the opponent doesn't deal with the stuff I have. Because this is, it wants to have a 3 or more. Yeah, that's gonna work. They take only 2 damage here, but that's still something, and I have a chance to train this more, depending, of course, what's their 4-drop. Okay, that's because this will be a 3/3, which can train this, so they would have to have something that has. Okay, well, they don't want to see my guys trained, and that also was the thing that would have allowed this to transform. So that's not going to happen right now. But what can happen here is I can attack with the 4/4. Because this will trigger now twice. They do have the life gain available here though. So is there any reason to attack with the Weaver of Blossoms? Because they, I mean, they are never gonna jump block with the Gluttonous Quest. They can always block the Weaver with the 1/4 here. So if they, I think they just take 4, but they might, jump block with the 1/1 also. But and now I'm waiting for a way to transform this. But any further, I mean, if that's their drop, I mean, this will still be 3/3s, and I can attack into this board if I get a human, which I did not. Well, that is unfortunate. I guess I could have waited for a nah, it doesn't matter. Yeah. They have a life gain from these, so the Catapult Fodder's ability won't be doing that much. They have way too much life and life gain to make that matter. Okay, Witch's Web is not what I'm looking for here. Let's make it into a knight then. I mean, I could attack here and do something. No, because they block with the Death Toucher, then I lose 2 cards if I use the Witch's Web. So I need to find another human here. I mean, the board they have is actually not able to. I mean, I can attack with 3/3s into this board, and then I can concede to Toxtril because this is just an insane card. So let's just go to the next game. I have no way to beat that card. And that's really true, my deck didn't have even removal. I would have gotten -1/-1 to all my guys already. So there literally wasn't a way to beat that card. That was not an early concession. I lost that match when they put that card on the stack. This is a nice hand. Again, let's see if I can do a little bit better. I can have the similar start with the training guy here. Evolving Wilds. Green-black mirror. Okay, well, let's see if they are willing to jump block here. I don't have another human here, but I guess I can train this sharpshooter with just... Was this a mistake? Oh, they didn't block. Well, I'm happy, because... Well, I guess I will trade with a zombie token, just to train this. It might be worth it. Plus, of course, I do have the massive might here, so let's see now. How do I do it? Yeah, with the massive might, it is rather easy. The 1/1 doesn't do anything, so I can just... if they block the Disciple with the... If they double block, though... I guess it's still worth it. I mean, they will double block the Disciple, and then my massive might won't be enough. I mean, I lose my Disciple anyway. But it's not like the Disciple is doing much against the Stalker here. Oh, they didn't double block. Well, that's really good for me. I think they were supposed to... Well, I don't know. I'm happy they chose that line. now the millipede won't be that good. No creatures in the graveyard. Yet. Let's see how the combat goes on my next turn. Or if there will be any combat. I could see them playing something that prevents me from attacking, and that's exactly... Well, no, if I draw a human, I'm willing to, of course, trade the sharpshooter with the scavenger, and the human trigger will allow this thing to... That's not a vampire. It's a zombie. I mean, yeah, no human trigger, but I really don't want to play this on an empty graveyard. It potentially could even be just a 2-2. My deck does have 19 creatures, so I mean, these are 4 of them. So there are 15 creatures, so 50% of the cards are creatures. So it's still, I mean, expected 1 or 2 creatures, so it's gonna be a 3-3 or a 4-4, neither of which are worth really 5 mana. So I'm gonna negate the Death Toucher and just attack. Sadly, no training here, but at least they have to either take some damage or lose the scavenger or use the... I'm kind of worried if they don't block with the scavenger, but they might want to save it. Okay, I mean, not really. This doesn't mean they have necessarily a way to deal with the aura here, but they could of course have something like Undying Malice, but also they might not want to jump block just a 2-power creature here. They might want to wait until they have something better to jump block. I really wish... Yeah, I mean, I have to do the attacks mostly because I want to play the millipede. I don't want to just miss making any play another turn here. I mean, they can... What they can do is block the sharpshooter with a 3-1 and a 2-2, and I can sadly only get rid of the... Okay, this is really good if they don't double block the sharpshooter. I guess they are worried about the trick, or maybe they are not. I mean, I'm happy about any blocks that allows the sharpshooter to survive, because... Wow, look at this. Dude, this is insanity. I'm gonna get both of these. What the heck? Why would I do that? And now I have a millipede which is at least a 4-4, maybe even more, and which can train this thing. So one creature, so it's gonna be a 5-5. I don't... Why didn't they double block this? Why did... okay. I'm not playing the game for the opponent, but I think they had better blocks if they were willing to risk a double block. They should have double blocked the sharpshooter with a 3-1 and a 2-2, right? I only get to kill one of them. Why would they block the 2-4 with 2 guys? Maybe they didn't just see it. But now they have to... Okay, I'm gonna do this pre-combat because if these die, I want this to transform. So this becomes a 3-6. They get the jump block 5-5 now, but at least I get rid of the scavenger in that case. And they can block the 3-6, but this is going to be able to train this multiple times. They basically need to remove the millipede. They have priority because of the blood token, so the fact they're stopping here doesn't mean they necessarily have a trick available. Okay, so now they have only the 1-4, and next turn, if the millipede gets to attack. I mean, if they don't have exile-based removal on the millipede, I will get to transform this. If they have like okay, they have a Kaya Geist Hunter here. Why? That's not even a limited playable card, and it's also a splash. That's a nice one, but actually doesn't help here now then. They get the jump blocker, but I get to train this. I mean, this is gonna be... wait a minute, am I gonna... Don't think I'm gonna sacrifice this, because if I attack with everything, they can double block the... in multiple ways. No, I'll just attack with these guys, which... yeah, they can get some nice triggers from this, but he's even gonna grow bigger on the next turn still. And this being 4 power creatures right after something I have a dice is good news too. Now they just get a treasure token. But they could have a Flourishing Hunter. And like a yes, that is the thing they could have, and now I need to wait. My millipede is no longer good enough, sadly. So that's of course the no removal dex problem here. So if I attack with everything, then Flourishing Hunter blocks this millipede. This is going to be a 5-8. It won't die unless they triple block it, but then they would lose. So they wouldn't lose, but it's not a good block for them. what they can do, they can double block one of the desperate farmers, eat my millipede for free, and I deal only 7 damage, and they keep all of them, and my 4-3, yeah, that's not gonna work. Down, that Flourishing Hunter. Yep, I guess that's really what all they needed there. And my deck having no removal is just gonna concede to this thing. And they also have the Root Stain, you know, creating value for them. That's really annoying. But I mean, what can I do? Oh, that is gonna flip those things, but I mean, it's so funny. If I had anything that helps me in the combat against the Flourishing Hunter, I would be in a winning position still. Now attack with everything is just I'm gonna lose this, and even if they go to 3, they can live with that. Oh. I have more millipede, so I can make an even bigger millipede at some point, but I just don't see if it's worth. I mean, they might even just jump block with the Glutinous quest, eat the millipede, they go to 7, in which case my millipede trades with the Glutinous quest effectively. Problem is they have even life gain from the blood token statistic. Yeah, I don't think there is an attack. Jeez. 1/6/6 creature can make all the difference in the world when you don't have a lot of interaction. I do have a Massive Might. No, I used that one, but I have a Witch's Web, and then I used my Gift of Fangs as well. I have my Menace guy. I have a Catapult Fodder. It won't be transforming in this board state anytime soon, but that's something I just don't get what the Kaya is doing in the deck. It only gives Death Touch to your creatures for a turn. It has a nice ultimate, but it's very hard to get to that. Cloaked Cadet, alright. There is a millipede which will be at least a 6/6, but this might be the turn when I'm gonna feed my guys. So basically, they eat the millipede for free, but the rest of the blocks they make, I get to at least trade. Okay, I'm gonna make the millipede even bigger by doing this attack now. I actually should have used some stops here to make it. Yeah, that's fine too. Okay, so my millipede even does survive. Okay, so I have 2 guys go to my graveyard, so the millipede will be at least an 8/8, and if it mills more, it will be a bigger one. So let's see. Oh, the Malice would have been interesting too, but anyway, I have a 9/9 now, which is gonna trade at least with the Flourishing Hunter, and I still have 1 millipede left in the deck. Hopefully I won't draw it too late. The Rothstein doing the milling stuff, of course, means that they must. I mean, they don't have. They still have like a 6 or 7 turns left, so it's not gonna. And they have a bleed drive. Heck. I was saying that they might deck out, but now when they were able to kill my big creature, it's not gonna work. There was a white mana for the Kaya. Well, I mean, if I draw a bunch of creatures in a row now, because the 5/5 can hold everything back except for the 6/6. I wish I had my Undying Malice there. I could double block, but that is really risky. And the 4/4 can't even hold back the 4/4 they have. I'm gonna take this 6 once now. Because if they have any trick or removal spell, I just lose. But they could lose the decking out if I am able to stabilize here. That's the thing here. This is a must mill, this is not a May option. Fell Stinger. Okay, well, do they want to draw cards? That makes it faster for them to mill, but also that gives them more answers to deal with my board and just dealing lethal damage here. But if I draw non-lands, I can still have Okay, well, that's too much Death Touchers. They are down to 9 cards in deck. Yeah, I don't think I can make them mill themselves. They have too much of a board here. Sadly. I guess if I do draw a millipede, Catapult Fodder could be one thing too, because, well, sadly the Death Touchers are gonna be too nasty now. Am I supposed to... down to 7 cards. I kind of feel like I might need to double block the Hunter. I don't really want to go to 10, especially because they can start attacking with the Death Touchers. And I can trade with the Fell Stinger. Okay, they have a white splash in there. I can still double block it. I don't think they want to use the blood tokens though. Yeah, I have to do it. Yeah, they are not going to take out. That is extremely sad, but also if they have a massive might now, I just, or Witch's Web. No, they don't have a treasure token. Massive might. Oh, they do have this mana producer. Anyway, they did it, and I can draw. I can draw that. Now there is a chance. Wow. Okay, there is a chance. Not a. I mean, it's still a lot of turns they're gonna get with the Rootstein, but I mean, with the board they have. Does it matter which I get rid of? Probably not. But now I can block their Scavenger with my Scavenger. I can block the Fell Stinger with this. Of course, they're gonna attack with a Taxidermist most likely, so I will have to actually trade with my Scavenger on the Taxidermist. So they have 5 cards left in the library. Now all I need is to draw a high impact, I mean maybe the last millipede. Or well, I have also Hook and Mariner. Any creature. Okay, that is actually drawing them card. This is a master ability, although they can't train it currently. But I mean, I would actually want them to draw cards now. There's a Catapult Fodder which can... It is not that great because they can attack with these guys, which makes them... I mean, I block a 2-4 and I take 4 and go down to 7. So I need to draw multiple non-lands. So 3 cards left. I guess they have only... Well, let's see how big of a... Are they going to... I guess they can use 1 blood token here. So I'm gonna do this. Next turn is their final attack. If they... But they can... If they have now a big creature, I will lose. Oh, they did not, and I have a blocker here. Are you kidding me? Because they're gonna go to 0 cards in deck. They have 1 attack and that's it. And they... Yeah, sadly they can attack with the Cadet. So the Rootstein did end up... Well, I can still lose. I can still lose. But they can't use a blood token. These are nonsense now. Why are they... Okay, now... Blood Fountain. So now they attack once and they either win or... And I would have blocked both 2 power creatures. What a way to win. So basically their Rootstein helped me win. Okay, interesting game. Okay, so I don't want to see green decks because they can have Flourishing Hunter and that is incredibly tough for my deck to beat. Alright, this is a fine hand because I can play these 2 drops, they even pump each other and then Weaver, which will also enhance this. If I draw the 3rd land, I'm on the draw here. Opponent kept 7 here and there's no land yet, but I can miss the land drop maybe at least once. But if they have a good training start, well, they can easily train this once. 2 power creature is no problem. Yeah. So this will be a 2-3 and I didn't done. I have to I have to double block. I'm not going to attack. And now that is super risky if they have anything, but I really don't want them to. I'm gonna block this now that they get only one counter out of it, but man, if they have anything, I lose the game on the spot. But it's just, I missed my land drop, I can't. Yeah. This even has lifelink, so racing would have been impossible, and now they have Gerald. Yeah, I mean, that was... They really need to brick a million times in a row now for me to have a chance here. And I need to also draw a swamp into a 5th land. Well, that's not bricking at all. They can even attack with this, put the sacrifice trigger into stack, and then sacrifice it for this, get a 4/4 token, and still have this in the graveyard. Okay, so I can't even leave the Undying Malice up because you have played the Desperate Farmer, that is fine, let's do this. And I'm gonna take well, I guess I'm taking only 4 in the air, but then they will get a 4/4 token. They just have to put a manual stop to make it work. Because normally you don't get priority in the end of combat when Dorothea wants to sacrifice, so you have to use something else. Okay, they're not going to do that for some reason. Alright. Sure. Don't like the fact they get the counters, but they will eventually get them anyway, so... So they're gonna just... Yeah, well, it doesn't matter, this goes to their graveyard. I mean, I can draw my Diagram Scavenger to get rid of this Disturb Aura. And I'm still gonna be losing to the Griff Rider and the 4/4 Flying Zombie, so... Yep. Nothing to deal with the flyers. Well, that was a quick one. But this deck is really, if I finish at 1 win, it's what happens when you don't have any interaction. It's really just that's just what happens often. Now I have had decks that have no or very low amount of interaction, but they have had better synergy and better curving out potential. This deck doesn't quite have it, so I need to kind of somehow get lucky. Now it might be possible to transform the catapult fodder here though. Okay, so I could kill that right away. And I will, because this black-red can have some blood token and this will transform. I will use the Gift of Fangs on this thing because this is not a vampire. A lot of their creatures will be vampires. So I'm not playing the Sporeback Wolf here, which is totally fine here. And I can play the Weaver on the next turn and maybe, yeah, if it survives I will double spell on turn 4. I'll take 2 from this thing and then I can play both the Sporeback Wolf and the Catapult Fodder, and I mean this is all assuming they don't like upgrade this guy. But if they don't, my Catapult Fodder will also transform. Okay, and I get to double spell, so the fact it's night now doesn't matter. This also adds 2, but that's actually not relevant. It is relevant in the way that I can actually leave mana up for the Undying Malice. That is good. And now this is back to 2/3. This is back to adding only 1 mana, but it shouldn't matter too much. Celebrants. Okay, so I don't have an attack now. Yeah, the millipede is really, I mean, when no trades have happened, it's really not that great. I mean, it can be just a 2-2 or a 3-3. If it is a 4-4, I wouldn't mind, then it can attack into this board. But I would need to mill specifically 2 creature cards out of these 3. But there's no attack for me. I'm not gonna sacrifice, a wolf, make them go to 16 just to fill my graveyard. Well, one thing I can do maybe is that the millipede can be... I can return it with the Undying Malice somehow when a later point. But it feels like I just should do something. I will hopefully mill 2 creatures here. Jesus. Well, I mean, I didn't want to draw these 3 forests, but I mean, it was just unlucky that I had these things on top of my deck in the first place. But if I just drew them, I would have lost the game with that flooding out stuff. So I guess it's worth having this as just a 2-2 now. And okay, they can anger that. I have the Undying Malice because the Weaver can tap for black here, so if they want to make any attack, I'm very happy to block with the millipede and like at the catapult fodder. Ceremonial knife, sure. I mean, this means that the catapult fodder is dying, or catapult captain is gonna die. Now it will flip back, or transform back. But I would want the millipede to die instead, but I guess that's just how it goes. Maybe, oh, they might have a flame blessed bolt. That would be horrible if they had that. I didn't realize, but if they have that, I should have... Oh, jeez. That's so horrible. Why did I realize it too late? I should have blocked with just a Weaver, and I'm the stupidest player there is. Because now that I know that Catapult Captain is going to die anyway, there's no point putting the millipede in there to block. That's stupid. Now this thing survives. I mean, I should have put the 2-3 and the 2-6 because they had mana for no other. Yeah, that was me making a mistake, and if I lose because of that, I freaking deserve it. Anyway, this will flip into a 3-7 now, and I can at least attack for 3 here. Yay. And I think I have to attack. I will have to try to raise them with the activations in there. Let's see if I can mill a creature now, because that one got exiled. So 1, 2, okay, that was 3 creatures. Finally something good news. So with the Catapult Captain I can try to raise them. But they do have 3 cards left in their hand. But now that was so foolish, because I would have been able to kill the Celebrants there. Am I gonna just double block it? No, I'm gonna raise them now. Or try to raise them at least. Because that's my only chance. Unless I draw like more good stuff. But I just milled 3 creatures, so I might hit another land. Although 3 lands, 3 creatures, that's like a even Steven, so I can draw some good stuff too. Alright, well, I could, but I won't. Alright, so now not only... yeah, this is actually horrible, because it's gonna be a knight and these transforms. Now this deck isn't particularly good, but it doesn't really help that I made this stupidest mistake there too. It was really bad. It's gonna be a knight. But, I mean, I have here the ability to throw creatures to their head. They have the ability to make 2 of my guys unable to block, but I still won't lose, because I will block with the final one. And they will completely tap out to do so, and if they attack with everything, I have a lethal counter attack. So I'm not dead, but I'm not really automatically winning either. But the opponent can't go all in with the Ballista Wielder and attack with everything. I have too much life for that. So my idea is here most likely to maybe throw the block and throw away the Blossom Clad Werewolf. They will go to 8. Yeah, I just... Man, if that... It would have made all the difference if I blocked with... not with the millipede. I guess I made them use the Flame Blessed Bolt, so there is that. They wouldn't have used it otherwise. But anyway, let's see what they do. I'm going to start throwing in these guys. If they just don't attack at all, I'm going to throw away those guys to their head. So they are figuring out if they should attack. And I guess the 5-4 is... Yeah, the fact these guys have minis is of course very annoying. Because if I now block with... I mean, I have to block with 2 if I block. So problem is... they can... Yeah, let's see. I mean, I can take 5 and I maybe have to. Because if I block with the captain and the werewolf, they can kill the finish off the captain and that's the game over for me. If I block with these 2, they can ping the 3-4 or either of these first before damage gets dealt, and then I have the option to only throw this away. So basically I would be jump blocking with the wolf. I'm not gonna do that. I have to just take this. I think maybe jump blocking, no, but the wolf is good because I can throw it away for 4 life loss on my turn. Yeah, I'm taking the 5 here and see how they do. Another Celebrants. Okay, so I think I won't be able to survive. That's too much many threats. That's just way too many threats. If I don't throw anyone to their head now. Yeah, I have lost this event now. It's not gonna work. I mean, I need to draw something very good now. That's a land. So they must block this, but they can just double block it. Then they can make my guys unable to block, and they will have a lethal attack. Yeah, well, the deck was bad, and I really made a crucial mistake in this game. If this died in the combat earlier, it would have been huge, because this has been dealing a lot of damage here now. I mean, the fact I drew just lands here again is not gonna help me at all. Ballista Wielder is just an insane uncommon. Bum uncommon. Now... because this thing says I can't block. They have 2 activations. If I left all of these to block, 2 of them can't block, and the 3 menace guys are gonna be lethal against my 1 blocker. They would be lethal anyway, even if this wasn't here. But now that it is, my only chance was that they actually take this damage and then I win with the catapult. Yep, okay, but no long reason to make it any longer. This was a 1-3 deck. I don't really... I'm not surprised it was a 1-3 deck. It's not surprising to me, but... why did I not play around the Flame Blessed Bolt in the game? Because it really kind of feels like I wanted to see what happens. The idea is that I block with a 2-6 Catapult Captain and a 2-3 Weaver of Blossoms. Then the Flame Blessed Bolt doesn't work at all. I guess what it would have worked is that I use the Undying Malice on the Catapult Captain. And then they use the Flame Blessed Bolt on the Catapult Captain, so the Undying Malice won't work in that case because it will get exiled. But at least in that case, the Menace guy would have died. But did I have a win there without the Catapult? Don't know. But anyway, that was that. The deck really needed something else. I mean, I had black in the deck, and I had some good black. The concealing curtains, which of course never showed up because that's how it works. Ancient Lumbernot at 2 copies and the Catapult Fodder with enough synergy. They were all good cards, and also the Diagram Scavenger is always a fine 4-mana card. But where was like any removal? I guess I saw one of the 6-mana sorcery removal spells once in the draft, maybe. Well, at least once. I remember seeing at least one. Maybe I saw more, but I remember one. And then maybe I saw a Wolf Strikes at some point when I had clearly better pick from the back. But I would have picked the Wolf Strike very high in this deck because, of course, you want to have removal. So the draft kind of gave me the good cards for the archetype, but also not. So the result is, as it should be after such a draft. But yeah, sadly I didn't get to use that rare. I would have wanted to do that, but maybe sometime still before the next set releases. Anyway, next one I guess will be I'm not really sure if I want to play any cubes anymore. I did play a lot of those cubes without recording them. I kind of maybe have seen enough what the cube has to offer, but if you really want to have still cubes, maybe I can draft once before it goes away. Anyway, thank you for watching, and see you next time, which will probably be well, if it's a draft of Crimson Vow, it will be traditional, or maybe it's the cube if you really want to. Just say in the comments. Anyway, bye bye.